What we're going to be talking about today is choose your words wisely. A word once spoken cannot be retracted. A sharp, harsh word is akin to an arrow that has left the bow, which causes fatal injury when it hits the target. Be careful with what you say. It has the ability to cause grave injury. And as a parent, you certainly don't want to injure your child. You don't want a situation where the kind of language that you're using or the tonality that you're taking is something which is negatively impacting your child in terms of how they're looking at their own self and their actions. You want feedback to go to your child. You want them to be able to understand where they make mistakes and where they are going to require certain corrective actions to be a part of their way of handling a situation or relationships. But giving that feedback and how you're going to go about it is going to be very, very important. And as a parent, it's your responsibility that whether you're looking at such interactions with a very young child or someone who is older in their teenage years, the words that you would use, the tone that your words take, is something which is of critical importance. It's very essential to make sure that the language that you're going to be using is something which will allow a child to learn from you and not make them feel smaller about their own selves or communicate to them that they're just not good enough. Because at the end of the day, to ensure that your child has a good self system, a good self concept, they have an understanding of their worthiness, they have good self esteem, and they're confident, you want them to be able to take feedback in the right spirit and not feel that everything that they say or anything that they do ends up leading to a very negative or a harsh reaction from adults around them. And this is something which is very crucial and something that you need to be very, very aware of, ensuring that you are cognizant of the kind of language and tonality that you're utilizing. At the end of the day, children are also learning from you. Whatever you're saying, however you're saying it, is going to be something that they will also absorb. It's going to affect the ways in which they will interact with their peers, their siblings, perhaps even you at times, especially as they're going to get older. So if you want them to be able to adopt the right kind of approach, you need to be the right role model and be mindful of the language that you're using, the tone that you're taking in your conversations with them. As a parent, it's also your responsibility to ensure that it's not just you who is aware of these aspects. You must make every adult who surrounds your child aware of it. If you notice in certain situations that your partner or any other adult within your household is being harsh towards your child or is using language which is incorrect, though the content may be absolutely appropriate in terms of what they're trying to communicate, you must have a conversation with them to remind them that they could use language which would help the child learn and grow from that experience and not make them feel belittled or demeaned in a situation. Because we want children to be able to constructively work on their own selves, their skills, to learn from negative experiences as well, from the mistakes that they're making, and not make them feel that making mistakes in itself is a very, very bad thing. What we want is for them to understand that mistakes, challenges, difficult experiences, negative experiences are all things which are going to teach them critical life skills, which will come in handy at all stages of their lives in negotiating and navigating through the challenges that life is going to be throwing at them, and in ensuring that they're able to reach their full true potential. So make sure that you're not making that mistake of becoming too harsh in your conversations with your children. Yes, as a one-off, sometimes you could also end up having a bad day where you may be reactive, but on that day, make sure that you circle back to your child and you go and discuss it with them. You share with them that you had a difficult day, that it was not okay for you to have reacted the way that you did. Yes, yet there was an aspect that you were unhappy about and how you believe that your child should have done things differently, or there was a better approach that they could have adopted. When you have that kind of a reparative conversation post a bad experience or a bad communication from your side, that also in itself takes care of what your child is internalizing. You're teaching them another valuable skill in that moment, which is taking responsibility and accountability for your actions. A skill that is going to be handy for them for the rest of their lives and will ensure that they can maintain the quality of their relationships in a very good way, and that they're turning out to be confident adults, confident children who can navigate difficult situations without feeling that they will lose a part of their self if they were to take accountability for actions.